All right, today we're going to dive into something you really don't see every day, a security report with a perfect score. But what does that even mean in the crypto world? We're going to break down the evidence step by step to figure out how a blockchain project can actually pull off a flawless security assessment. So, this is the number that just grabs your attention right away, 0. That's the total number of vulnerabilities, not just critical ones, but any vulnerabilities that Certik found in the Apertum network. I mean, in blockchain security, seeing a big fat 0 is almost unheard of. It immediately makes you ask, wait, how is that even possible? And the report itself is really direct about it. This quote from the summary lays it all out there. It's not just saying we found 0 bugs. It's saying the fundamental integrity of the protocol is rock solid. So let's put on our investigator hats for this explainer and see if we can verify that claim for ourselves using their own report as our guide. Okay, first things first. To understand the score, we have to know what was actually being audited. This wasn't just your typical bug hunt in some new app. No, this was about verifying the very foundation, the architectural blueprints of Apertum. And here is the absolute key to the whole thing. The main goal wasn't to check a bunch of brand new custom code for mistakes. It was to prove that Apertum is using the standard, out-of-the-box, battle-tested framework of an Avalanche subnet with 0 risky modifications. To really get what that means, let's do a super quick refresher on Avalanche itself. You see, Avalanche isn't just one single blockchain. It's a whole network of chains working together. Think of it like this. The P chain is the main directory, kind of like the central registry that keeps track of all the other blockchains and the validators that secure them. Then you've got the C chain, which is the busy hub for all the smart contract action. And the X chain is a special tool built for one thing, creating and trading assets super fast. For Apertum to be legit, it has to be officially listed in that main directory, the P chain. Now this right here, this is the definition we need to lock in. A subnet, which is an Avalanche L1, isn't just an app. It's a full-blown sovereign blockchain. It has its own rules, its own validators, the whole 9 yards. But the magic phrase here, the one you need to remember, is inheriting the security. We're going to keep coming back to that idea. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty. How did Certik actually prove what Apertum was claiming? Well, they didn't just take their word for it. They went straight to the ultimate source of truth, the blockchain itself. And we're going to follow their exact steps. So here's question number 1. It's the most basic, but also the most important. Before we check anything else, we have to know, does Apertum even exist in the official Avalanche directory? Is it actually a recognized member of the club? And boom, here's the proof, plain as day. Certik sent a direct command, platform.getSubnets, to an Avalanche node. They basically just pinged the network and asked, hey, do you recognize the subnet ID? And the network came back with a definitive yes. This is our first piece of hard on-chain evidence. So, check 1. Apertum is officially registered. Okay, so we know it exists. But what is it, really? Is it some custom-built hot rod with a bunch of weird, unknown parts? Or is it the reliable, standard model right off the factory floor? Just because it's registered doesn't tell us what's under the hood. Well, to answer that, you need a more powerful tool. They made a request to something called the Glacier API. You can think of this as asking for the complete, official, technical blueprints of the network. This doesn't just ask if it exists, it asks what it is, down to the nuts and bolts. And wow, the results could not be clearer. The API response confirmed everything. First, and this is huge, it uses the standard unmodified subnet EVM. That's the engine, right? It's running on the trusted Snowman++ consensus mechanism. It's confirmed as a sovereign L1. It uses the standard contract for validators, and it has its own unique chain ID, 2786. We even know its birthday. Every single box on the checklist just got ticked. So, we've verified the blueprints, and we've confirmed it was built exactly to spec. But is the engine actually running? Is there a heartbeat? A network can be perfectly designed and still be a ghost town. So the final step of on-chain verification is to check for a pulse. And here is that pulse, loud and clear. First, just look at the block height, over 4.8 million. That tells you this network has been humming along consistently for a good while. It's being actively secured by 11 validators, and maybe most importantly, the latest blocks aren't empty. They're actual user transactions happening, which proves this is a live, functioning economy. Okay, so the on-chain evidence is rock solid, but that's only half the story, right? For a network to be truly usable, the rest of the crypto world has to recognize it. So let's move on. Let's see if the on-chain data we just found actually matches what the wider ecosystem sees. The verification process here is so simple, but it's also so powerful. On one side, we have our raw on-chain data that gave us the chain ID 2786. On the other side, we have data from public, independent registries that everyone trusts. And the conclusion, the data matches perfectly. That consistency is absolutely crucial for building trust. And we're not just talking about some random lists here. Apertum is listed in the places that really matter. Ethereum Lists? That's basically the address book for wallets like MetaMask. If you're not in there, you might as well be invisible. ChainStack's inclusion is like an enterprise-grade stamp of approval. And being on Chainlist means any user can easily connect their wallet with a click. It is fully plugged in to the ecosystem. So, we've walked through all the evidence. We followed the breadcrumbs. We saw the on-chain proof and the ecosystem-wide validation. Now, we can finally answer that big question from the very beginning. How on earth did Apertum get a perfect score of 0 vulnerabilities? The answer, the whole secret, boils down to this one incredible concept: inherited security. By choosing not to reinvent the wheel, by using the standard Avalanche framework without changing the core engine, Apertum didn't have to build its security from scratch. It just plugged directly into a system that has already been audited, tested, and secured for years. And this is the central idea of the entire report, all summed up in one powerful sentence. That perfect score wasn't the result of writing thousands of lines of flawless new code. It was the result of making a really, really smart architectural decision to build on a foundation that was already proven to be secure. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. Here it is, straight from the horse's mouth, the final conclusion from Certik themselves. They confirm that because Apertum uses the standard architecture, it inherits all of Avalanche's security guarantees by design. The security isn't an add-on, it's baked right into its DNA from day one. And this all brings us to the final big idea. The entire process we just walked through, it wasn't about trusting a company's claims, was it? It was about using on-chain tools to independently prove them. And that leaves us with a really provocative question to think about. When we can actually prove how a system is built, instead of just trusting that it's secure, what new kinds of applications and economies can we build on top of that foundation?